Hello, I'm Joss Peach.
And I'm Poppy Peach.
And we are two first-class idiots with an unhealthy obsession with cabbage.
And this is the Cabbage Chronicles.
What's that coming over the hill? Is it the cabbage? Is it the cabbage? What's that coming over the hill? Oh, you just got cabbage, motherfucker!
Yes, we have begun.
We have begun.
But what have we begun?
It's a mystery that has troubled the ages.
What? I don't think that is fair to say.
I think it is fair to say.
So you think that throughout the ages, they have been troubled by the mystery?
They have been so fucking troubled.
Of what have the Peaches been getting up to?
Yeah.
Well, that mystery is about to be solved for those desperate seekers.
Yes. And our dear listeners. So, what we have been doing with our life
for the past 2 years or so.
Yeah, is inspired by a wonderful comedian called James Acaster, who we will link stuff about him in the description, and you can go and watch his full origin story about cabbaging.
He basically got into a cabbage prank battle with a friend's son that got slightly out of hand. Yeah. And we thought that was very, very funny.
Yes. I especially thought that was very, very funny.
Well, you thought not only that it was funny, but it was something that you wanted to replicate.
Yeah, absolutely. Because why wouldn't you?
And you singled me out as the victim of the cabbaging.
Obviously, only because I knew that you would respond with such vigour. And vigour you did respond with.
This is true. It has been vigorous and thorough.
Yeah.
And we have been at it, as we say, for over 2 years.
Yeah.
And essentially, what is involved in cabbaging is some sort of prank.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, a bit annoying.
Yeah.
That in some way involves cabbage. So in the early days, that tended to be always some sort of physical cabbage.
Yeah.
And as time has gone on, it has evolved into psychological cabbaging.
Yeah. Oh my god, if we can get onto the level of telepathic cabbaging, that will be wonderful. Like, there must be some psychological trick where I can make your dreams be filled with cabbages.
That would be a good one.
That would. But one of our rules within cabbaging is we are not allowed to repeat pranks. And we are also not allowed to use pranks that have been talked about.
Which means we keep our thoughts very closely guarded.
We do. I didn't just then. So should I find out how to make you dream about cabbage, I would not get a point for it.
You wouldn't. I think you would do it anyway, just for a laugh.
I would do it, obviously. But yeah, and we don't have a more complex scoring system than that. We just do 1 point per prank.
Yeah.
There are some that fail.
Yeah.
And there are some that don't.
Well, there are some that fail on a fundamental level because they don't end up working as pranks.
Yeah.
Or there are some that just aren't judged to kind of quite fit the bill. But generally speaking, they do work. And the current score is 41 to you and 40 to me. So it's a very hard-fought battle.
It is. Given that those are all individual, and with the amount of fails we've had nearly 100 individual pranks by now. Probably.
Yes, and that is a lot of cabbaging.
It really is. So we thought, why not share this with others to bring our gift into the world?
Well, it brings us immense joy.
It does. Well, not so much when you're the victim of a prank, but very much.
Sometimes it brings us immense irritation and frustration, but overall it's something that is just a very joyful, daft thing. Yeah. And enough people have said, oh, you should really do a podcast. Oh, we'd love to kind of know more about the whole thing. That we were like, well, we want to do it, and if there's a few people that want to listen to it,
brilliant. You will probably on this podcast hear a fair few of our score debates where we work out whether a prank was in fact worthy of a point or not. Luckily our scoring system isn't any more complicated than that, because if we had to rank each prank out of 10 or something, I think there would be a lot more disagreement.
There really would.
Yeah.
And if we actually awarded the number of points that the prank justified, there would be at least one prank that would be into triple figures.
Absolutely. But we will come on to that in a later episode.
That is, what do they call it, a teaser?
Yes, it is. Or is that a cliffhanger?
No, it's not a cliffhanger.
No. It could be a cliffhanger if we wanted it to be enough and we said it dramatically enough.
Yeah, maybe at the end of one of these episodes we'll sort of...
Yeah, with some special effects or something.
Sort of explosion.
Yeah, I think
noises.
so. Yeah. I think that would be good.
And sort of feet clomping along a pavement.
Yeah, and then something just like really weird, like a kitten meowing or something, just to confuse everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have got that cliffhanger to look forward to. Should we say at the end of this episode?
Maybe.
Yeah. So I guess we should dive straight in.
Yeah. Let's dive into the cabbagey pool at the deep end.
And start talking about some of the earliest cabbage pranks that we got into.
Yeah, let's go for it. No shallow ends for us, baby. Cabbage.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, thinking back to those very first cabbagey days that seem so far back in the mist of time now.
Yeah, they really are.
A lot happened.
Yeah.
A lot happened.
And we can't claim to remember all of it.
No, but I think that the first one that ever happened was me trying to climb into bed to find the thing stuffed to the gunnels with manky cold cabbage leaves. And I think as soon as that happened, I was like, oh God, I now realise what is going to happen in my life for the foreseeable future. Yeah. I would say my spider sense, but maybe my cabbage sense was tingling.
Sense, yeah.
So that would definitely be the first one, is you getting the ball rolling with the cabbaging of the bed.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I put them in your pillowcase as well. I did try and go for it. And in the original cabbage battle that James Acast had, the boy, Mick Trent, did leave little notes sort of going, oh, you've been cabbaged, which of course James had no idea at the time.
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure I did leave you a little cabbage note, and I'm also pretty sure that I sent you a message because it was after a party. I deliberately chose that day because I knew you'd be pissed, and I loved the idea of you coming in pissed, late, and having to deal with cabbage. But yeah. I remember sending you a little message going, oh, is he going to work out, or is he just going to think I'm randomly sending cabbage?
Yes, I think the kind of glorying in the cabbage with little notes.
Yeah, and it's good stuff. Yeah, it really is. And it's a tradition that we've upheld. If it's not a prank that will be ruined by us giving it away, we will take every opportunity to really rub it in.
Sometimes we'll just say, oh, you've been cabbage lately, have you?
Yeah.
And then the other one will be like, oh, what's happened? What's happened?
Yeah.
What have you done?
Yeah. Or have you checked your bedroom recently? Yeah, as soon as you do that voice, it's like alarm bells.
It's my little thoughtful voice. With a little self-satisfied smile.
It's that little grin. It's that noise with the grin.
You will, dear listener, just have to imagine what my face is doing when I make that noise.
We'll have to take a little photo of the cabbage grin.
Okay. What else did you get up to early days?
Well, I remember one of the first ones that you were quite annoyed with and I was very pleased with was my dad has a large stash of very much beloved peanut butter.
Oh.
He gets the proper, the massive tubs, you know? I think it's a kilogram.
And it's triple roasted, This, to me, is the Rolls Royce of peanut butter.
Yeah.
I love that peanut butter.
Yeah.
And I smother my morning toast in first a layer of healthy butter. And then a coating of invigorating Marmite.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And finally, the pièce de résistance, rich, crunchy and delicious, triple roasted Manny Life peanut butter. It's my pride and joy, that
You
is.
sometimes put honey on as well, don't you?
That has happened. Yeah, and peanut butter, it just means a great deal to me. Yeah.
Do you know what else means a great deal to you?
Cabbaging?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did manage to just pick the cabbage out and use it anyway, but I do think it had gone a little bit manky. I do seem to remember that, which I was very chuffed with.
Well, I definitely remember my experience when I lifted the lid of my beloved chalice of nutty goodness.
Chalice!
And I'm going to say the experience left me deeply saddened.
Yeah.
And I felt like I'd had my space invaded.
Oh!
Exactly. Poppy, for those that couldn't see that, was doing an impression of a space invader.
Cabbage!
On a similar kind of note, of maybe a few months later, I got you back by infesting your favourite ice cream with
and
cabbage.
It's serious ice cream as well. Like, my ice cream is his peanut butter. It's proper good stuff. $5 a tub, like, seriously good ice cream.
Yeah. It was missing something, I thought. And I was aware that you weren't getting enough veg and fruit in your diet, and you were a growing girl.
Do you know that was actually a fruit flavoured ice cream as well?
Was it?
It literally was. It was raspberry sorbet.
Was it?
It was. And luckily for me, the cabbage had frozen, so it wasn't too bad. I could just sort of lift it out quite easily.
True, but I still recall the vigour.
I was not happy.
You sort of hurled it to the floor in disgust.
Did I really?
Oh yeah, yeah. You absolutely cast it asunder, and because it was totally frozen, it just shattered like a thin pane of glass or something. It just went absolutely everywhere. All those frozen shards of cabbage.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I mean, the best thing would have been to melt the ice cream, mix it in,
refreeze.
That's what you would do now.
Yeah. I would.
And I'm very glad that you can't do it now.
Because that would be a repeat.
I would be very upset. So we've both done ones like that, haven't we?
We've interfered with each other's favourite foods, basically.
Yeah. Cabbage! What else did I do?
Well, there was a really beautiful card that you made for me, essentially using this really, really gorgeous picture.
Yep.
And you got someone else to write my name on it in their handwriting? I don't know who...
Yeah, it was Mum. She just faked someone else's handwriting.
Right. So it was just like, oh, here's a card for me. Oh, interesting. Opened it up with this really beautiful image on the outside.
Yeah, and it was obviously hand delivered as well, because it didn't have your address on. And we do have quite a lot of really lovely neighbours as well. So it was absolutely plausible that one of our neighbours could have dropped you around a sweet, meaningful card. And it wasn't even your birthday or anything. It was just
I thought it was a bit like Amber's handwriting.
That was what Mum was going for. So, that's successful.
Our
lovely next door neighbour.
Yeah. And so I didn't suspect anything until I open up the card to see loads of images that you'd cut out of magazines of different coloured cabbage and a big you've been cabbaged, ha ha ha. Yeah,
I'd specifically bought a cabbage cookbook so that I could cut.
Oh, had you?
Yeah, genuinely, from a charity shop. God. And it was full. It was like one of those really old cookbooks, And it was just full of cabbage recipes. And I cut them out, and I got little sprouts to fill in all the gaps. And it was quite an artistic collage, actually. I'm pleased with that one. That was well done, I think.
Yeah.
Cabbage.
I think that one of the relatively early ones was cabbage leaf in the boxing glove.
That was pretty early. That was quite a good one. Why
don't you explain?
Yeah,
what
so
I did?
I was doing a martial arts class at the time, and I would have been 13 then.
Yeah.
So this has actually been going on for more than 2 years.
Yeah.
Because I'm 16 now, and what a lot of people don't know is I am not a very confident socialiser, and was even less so then, and very much did not like standing out. So I had quite a lot of red cabbage in my boxing gloves at this martial arts class, and then I just had all of this cabbage just to do something with. I couldn't leave it in my boxing gloves because then my hands wouldn't fit. So I was just trying to like really surreptitiously hide this cabbage with absolutely nowhere to hide it, to try and not be noticed. And not only that, but he also, on that same day, filled my water bottle for that with more red cabbage, which I don't know if you've tried red cabbage infused water.
Oh, I forgot I did
that. But it is disgusting.
Oh yes, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Did.
And so I couldn't have any water at all either for the whole 90 minutes of relatively intense exercise.
I mean, we're talking
session.
press-ups, planks, kicking, punching.
Yeah, and it's like you did do like fights with the other people as well, and it was sort of boxing, well, I mean, kids boxing matches, but at the time it felt like pretty hard work.
You thought you were a tough guy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I thought I was so cool. I thought I was a legend. But you know, you did have to drink water in those. There was no one that didn't drink water.
No, except you on that day.
Apart from me on that day, because of course I didn't just go and empty out the water bottle and go and fill it up at the tap, because that wouldn't occur to me. So
no, because you would have been in a state of high alert from the socialising.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that you'd found this cabbage in your gloves, which I put in at home, and you and there was no part of you that could go, oh look guys, look at what my dad's done. Oh, he's cabbaged me. You would do now.
Yes, I think I would.
But at the time, you were just like, this is really awkward. I am going to be conspicuous by the cabbaginess of my gloves.
Yeah, it wasn't great. So that was strong, actually. Now this feels like a full-blown part of our life. But I don't think either of us were expecting it to even last a year now.
No, we were just going with the flow. But now that we're over 2 years in, and it feels like something that we will never stop doing.
No, it definitely is not something we'll ever stop doing.
And you've got plans for my funeral.
Oh yeah.
And let's just say...
Oh.
It'll be interesting when the will is read.
Oh my god, I love the idea of you just leaving me loads of cabbages in your will and nothing else. I mean, I don't, because... you know, I want all the stuff that you get when you die, but you know.
The old stuff
that you get when you die.
Don't we all?
Don't we all?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think all the stuff that you get when someone dies, in this instance, may include some slightly unorthodox bequests. Well, I think that's probably
enough for episode 1.
That's probably plenty.
Yeah.
Yes, we promised a cliffhanger.
We shall cliffhanger.
Yes.
Are you ready? Get hanging! There's a fresh cliff waiting for you. And it's got cabbages at the bottom.